Hey there, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of That Nerdy Site Show. I am one of your hosts, Logan Wilkinson. Joining me this week is the one, the only, the beautiful, the debonair, the dashing Frank Bazzani. Say hi to the kids, Frank.
So flattered, I don't know where to
Yeah,
go
exactly.
from there.
Exactly. It's the high point of the episode. We're all downhill from here, right?
Yeah, just stop recording. We'll just give up.
Exactly. I mean, it's only a 5-second podcast if you kids. Sorry. Yes, it is me and Frank in the second ever Fireside Chats, back-to-back Fireside Chat episodes. Trevor Starkey's out there in San Francisco, California, gallivanting around, hanging out with Greg Miller, Joey Noel, Belinda Garcia, having a good time.
Went to
Square Pie Guys, yeah, multiple times apparently. Saw lots of movies out there, saw lots of plays, read some books probably. I don't know what Trevor does in his spare time. And then Ben is just out there living a California life, honestly. Chloe's in London, England. Yeah. Jazz is just somewhere in the world. Also, she's like Carmen Sandiego. She disappears into the wind.
Exactly.
Cameron Abbott couldn't be here because he's also too good for us. And Christian also traveling. Everybody's just out of town, traveling somewhere that's not Austin, Texas, on this couch right now with me and Frank holding hands. And so, unfortunately, it's going to be me and Frank manning the ship here on this week's episode of That Nerdy Site Show, which is a weekly conversational podcast between a few different best friends out there, having a good old-fashioned time, talking about all the latest things happening in their lives. It is, of course, one of the flagship podcasts of That Nerdy Site, which is where you're at right now. You can go check out thatnerdysite.com for all the latest reviews, opinions, features, op-eds, previews, podcasts, drawings, you know what I mean, Twitch streams, web shows, you know what I mean, cartoon doodles, anything that comes into our beautiful minds. You can also go to patreon.com/thatnerdysiteshow if you like what you hear or see. We'd very much appreciate that. We are closing in and hitting our second goal on Patreon now, which would be That Disney Plus show, and then after that, That Video Game News show, both of which are very exciting and that we're also very, very eager to do. Yes, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Frank, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Man, I've been pretty good. Definitely been pretty busy. Been trying to still fit in time to play games, though. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting to that busy time of year where there's an avalanche of games, an avalanche of movies, and also 15 different holidays in a 5-day stretch. It seems like.
Yeah.
So I definitely get the feeling of being overwhelmed by that. But what have you been playing, Frank?
I finally went back and so I had already with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I had already gotten the platinum.
Absolutely.
Back when it had first come out, but since then they've done 2 different large DLCs.
Yeah.
And each one is 3 episodes, and so I kind of went in and did all that, which was another it feels like almost maybe 20 hours because I did everything. But that was kind of why I was excited about it and kind of want to talk about it too, is because I now have the full 100%, the platinum. They did the additional feats, which was side missions. I have all that, and then all the DLCs all the trophies for all the DLCs. Have all of them now, and I'm awesome. So happy about that. When you look at it on PSN, it's that 100%.
Oh my! Can we? Because I have the Rocket League Platinum, but only have 78% because all because Rocket League has way too much DLC where it's I just can't. I'm not gonna go back and platinum all these over again. So I have the platinum trophy, 78%, and I hate it. Every time I scroll past it and look past it, I'm you motherfucker, I've platinumed you. Why are you not 100%? And it fills me with anger and rage. I did not expect you to talk about AC Odyssey until about 5 seconds before we started recording this podcast. Spoiler, behind the curtain. I love that we're going to do this now because, I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. As somebody who is a noted, I don't really like Assassin's Creed guy because they don't play right. It's always my kind of big beef before Origins and Odyssey. I wanted to play Origins when it came out. Friend of the show, Yusuf Magid, obviously ranted and raved about it. It seemed incredible. I just didn't get around to it. And then Odyssey, I technically didn't get around to either when it came out. I waited all the way until this summer and bought it on sale, I think. But then promptly and immediately fell in love with it, right? And Assassin's Creed games are always ones that have been right up my alley in terms of the subject matter, right? There's these great, deep, engrossing, historical narratives, and that's very much stuff that I love and appeal to. And I think putting it in ancient Greece in particular is something that I love. Greek mythology and Greek history is super fascinating to me, and that whole world, right? I think for me, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of the best worlds I think I've ever been. Just walking around feels so lived in and alive and thriving, full of different opportunities and characters and creatures, and Cassandra is such a fully fleshed out, which is who I picked. Like,
same.
Yeah, you should. Protagonist, like she's so cool and so interesting. Like I just constantly want to like see her do different things and tackle different situations and interact with different kind of characters. And I think that the cast of people in ancient Greece is so great because like ancient Greece is such a rich world, right? Where it's like Aristotle or like Pericles or these kind of other people. Like it's just rife with these kind of gross and historical figures. And then you get to the actual gameplay, and hey, guess what? An Assassin's Creed game is fun to play. It's actually enjoyable to play, and Odyssey very much is. And so yeah, like I just fell like I sunk in 50 plus hours before I finally stopped because other things came up and other games came out. But like, it's one of those games where like I haven't finished it. I desperately want to beat it before the end of the year. Will I? Who knows?
Yeah.
But even if I don't, like I'll beat it early next year. Like I loved Odyssey and when I played through it. And I think another big thing for me too is that like I never loved the animus stuff. I always hated it, like the modern day shit in Assassin's Creed games. And Odyssey has such a small, like, minimalist amount of that it's like perfect for me. Where it's like we go back in, and like I hit the second time in like the real world after like again 50 hours of the game. It's like this is fine. When it's once every like 25 to 30 hours, I can bite the bullet on that and be like, this is still not needed, but it's like fine, and I can get past it, kind of thing. But yeah, like Odyssey, what a video game! Like what an incredible video game, and like I'm excited to finish it and then dive into two different like pieces of like DLC they have too. But yeah, it is great. It is rad.
I really like going back to it, and like I loved it just playing it through the first time, and like with Assassin's Creed, like I've been a fan since day one.
Okay, so we got Till Two Cities here then. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like day one, the first one, kind of. I get that there's definitely like hiccups or things that are bad about it or held it up, and like. But I love something about kind of even like the old combat. Like there was something to this, like even though it was kind of like I guess it was definitely maybe like simple, right? Mm-hmm. Like, but it was because you'd see this glowing thing, you'd block, and then that would give you like a one-hit kill, and then you could chain that, and you could kill 30 dudes. Yeah, like, you'd get into these massive fights. At least I would, because I couldn't stealth for shit.
Sure, yeah.
But like you couldn't
even
stealth
was broken in this game, right? But that's that, you said my thing. Yeah. That was my thing for you. It's like what kind of stealth game doesn't let you crouch when you want to? Like, and I was like, that's so fucking dumb. And like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can crouch and it's rad. Like that's the thing. Like, yeah, what I like about Odyssey is I feel like in the earlier Assassin's Creed games, it was a weird game where like it's a stealth game, but you were almost incentivized and like pushed in the direction of not just kill everything.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas I feel like in Odyssey, it feels like you are punished if you just try to kill everything. Like you were like game very much like want you to go about it very like stealthily and sneakily, like, and when you break stealth is when the game becomes a lot harder, I feel like. And so like it like wants you to become better at like sleuthing around and sneaking through grass and like hiding out like the haze and popping and grabbing guys, and like, and it makes me feel like I actually am becoming like an assassin in a way that the other games didn't. Which I think is also super rewarding and cool to do. Did
you kind of spec out with kind of your gear and your skill tree? Did you kind of spec out in kind of the assassin kind of way?
I did assassin and I did warrior. Those are the two that I kind of really focus on the most. But like like one for me is like I love just like the like pulling like the bow and arrow skills. Again, like doing it from long range, and so you can still be hidden from that and just pop back down to the thing. Like it's great. Like the instant kill bow and arrow thing, we can like freeze frame time. Is one of my favorite like skills to have unlocked.
I definitely went like primarily warrior, but that's kind of a lot of like my play style.
Sure.
Because like I always I do. It's always the same thing with every game. It's stealth until I fuck up, and then everyone's dead.
Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a classic, and I feel like what I'll do a lot is I'll stealth and then get caught, and then what I used to do is just like kill everyone. Now I'm like I want to do it stealthy, so I'll pop out of like the arena for a second and like walk, just do like a lap basically, and then jump back in, and everybody's like guard it down again, and be like, round two, here we go, right?
Yeah.
And, like, one of the first things I like to do when I walk into like a big compound or like fort is go to where the bonfire thing is, like set up an alarm and disable that and like set a trap there, so that way if they do it like a boom, it'll kill them and won't activate kind of thing.
Yeah,
I love to do that and like take out like all the kind of guys, which leave the captains for last, and be like, all right, cool, now we're gonna just do this too, right? Like I think there's something so fulfilling in that game about just quietly taking out everybody in like a compound, being like there's just one doofus left and be like, just me and you now, guys, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
It's great. Like the gameplay in Odyssey is great. I think the story is so good. Like I find it so interesting and so engrossing. And I think it's really cool that the game is set where it's at, where like it's kind of like the fall of ancient Greek society, right? Where it's like the heyday is kind of come and gone.
Yeah.
Like Pericles, who's in the game, but he's also like in his last kind of year of life, and it's like it is very much like his death is kind of the thing that sets off the downfall of Athens in a lot of ways, at the very least. And like seeing that document throughout the game is really cool. Like the plague stuff is really cool. And neat. Like it's just I think it picks up on societies and like collapse of things, and like what kind of breaks it apart really well. And it's actually like a really good political allegory at times for like our own times. It's just a very smart video game, very neat video game. But yeah, I'm very happy to hear that you're playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. What else have you been playing?
Yeah, and then so I finished that up, and I kind of had a little bit of a lull where there was like nothing kind of going on after that, and like it's been kind of a slow year overall for me, at least.
Interesting.
Like there's been a couple good games, and I was even trying to think of like what would the top 10 be.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come up with one. Yeah, you're gonna have to come up with one to decide. So you had to start thinking.
I'm looking forward to it, but I was like, is there even 10? Like, are we stretching here? But then now Fallen Order's come out, so I finally was able to dive in on that.
Give me your pitch on Fallen Order, Make me love this game.
Oh, my God. Man, I'm trying to think of, like, what the best pitch for this would be, because it's definitely, like, there's a couple... I feel like this is definitely, like... At least so far, it seems really inspired by, like, kind of like God of War.
Okay, yeah.
Or, I know a lot of people say Dark Souls.
I hear Dark Souls a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying Dark Souls, and I definitely feel that, and I get that.
Okay, yeah.
And I see it. Like, I get that. And you can even set the control scheme to do the Dark Souls control scheme.
Interesting.
Where it's R1, R2 for, like, light, heavy attack.
Yeah.
Right now, I just have it default where it's square, triangle, you can swap it to be the R1, R2.
Yeah.
But man, like, so I'm really still really early on, like only a couple hours.
How many hours? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, so you're just starting. Yeah, you're just getting.
I was like waiting to see if it was going to pop up on like a deal somewhere for like Black Friday. But now that all of those ads and some of the sales have already even started, like it's not on anything, which is like understandable. I mean, it's only like a week old, and it's like amazing. Where like Shenmue 3 just came out and it's already half price. But
sure, this isn't just Shenmue 3.
They're already gonna struggle to get like whatever. So like, but yeah, like I'm really enjoying it still so far. It is definitely I'm on the hardest difficulty. I kind of just
you're one of those guys. Okay,
not like always.
Okay,
and what's interesting is there's no difficulty trophy. I just like looked it up like I normally do, and there's no difficulty trophies. There's no missable trophies.
Awesome.
Those things you kind of want to know before you start, but I don't want to know like spoiler or whatever. So like. There's no difficulty-related trophies, and you can swap it at any time. You can go up or down.
Nice, okay.
So I like that, because sometimes, like, a lot of games, when they've kind of put it in where you either obviously can't switch, or even when you can switch, you can only go down, you can't go back up. But with this, you can just kind of, like, if one thing is really hard, you can
drop it down for a second, and then pop back up.
And then you can kind of bring it back up.
That's smart. I like that.
And definitely, it is kind of even getting kind of hard out the gate. Like I was able to do all kind of the intro tutorial stuff in like the first world, but like when I kind of got to this first kind of like boss encounter, it's like that's where I kind of stopped a little bit. And it's like, and it's one of those things where I'll still come back to it and do it, obviously. But it destroyed me like twice.
Sure,
and I was like, oh fuck, like
need a break from that. Okay.
I might even drop the difficulty down, and who knows, I might be a guy that like jumps up and down a little bit.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah,
but especially because like I really want to get started and get into it, because I know it's a lot deeper than where I'm at right now. I really want to get going in that. That's
my thing. When you said playing on the hardest difficulty for your first playthrough, it's like, man, like that is something that can like just like block like me being like, all right, cool, I'm gonna enjoy a story, and it's like, all right, instead I'm just gonna bang my head against a wall for 10 hours and not make really that much progress, and it's like it can be a slog playing those kind of games like that.
That's kind of almost what that even kind of is like, and I don't necessarily think it is just kind of I guess how it goes when you're on a difficulty like that, because like the really low level enemies or even the stormtroopers just destroying them, and obviously like there was like 4 stormtroopers at one point, and like they definitely kicked my ass because I was like low on health, and like so it's definitely one of those things where anyone could definitely kill you, or if you're not paying attention, someone can definitely get one over on you and like, take you out, which has already happened to me. But like, man, I'm like, it's definitely this thing of like so far where like the small enemies I can just destroy, and then like any like the big enemies, it's just like I can encounter them and you can only take like 1 maybe 2 hits, and I've already increased my health like on the skill tree. and it's like one hit, and I'm like already like
sure all the way down.
Yeah, already way down, and anything else that hits me, dead.
Yeah.
And like one of the guys in like I don't know if this is just because like what happened to me, but I got like trapped kind of against the wall, and so he was basically hitting me, and I would slam against the wall, and he would hit me, and I would slam against the wall again. And he just kept like he just destroyed me because there's nothing you can even do there. Like,
I think for me, Fallen Order is a weird one where I feel like in the mixture of like that and Death Stranding and back when it's still coming out this year, Doom 2. Fallen Order is maybe the one that I was like the least confident about and like me sinking time into, and then like the game came out, the reviews came out, and I'm like, oh man, like this is a game that like I do want to really sink time into now, and to find the time in between that and Death Stranding, obviously, but I think the game seems like it is actually pretty incredible. Like it seems like, and it seems like it's telling a really cool story of like the post kind of Revenge of the Sith, like Episode 3 world, like what that kind of in between space does for like for these kind of other Jedi floating out there, right? And like what it does for like survivor skills and that kind of stuff seems like an interesting avenue to explore.
Have you watched a lot of like pre-review stuff about it, or like
I've
video?
I've seen pretty blocked out. Like I inadvertently watched a review today from Dan Stapleton, but like otherwise, like I didn't even know that it was. I didn't know when it was set until I watched a review, and it was like it's set after that, and I was like, all right, cool, interesting to know, good to know, good to know.
Yeah, because I think that's definitely interesting, and like I also really like already kind of like what you're saying, like it is really beautiful, and I feel like they already do a really good job of nailing like the world building.
That's
and, like this is Star Wars,
yes.
Like, and because like even right at the beginning, I did that thing where I put in the disc, and I think I don't know, maybe it was when it loaded up or when I hit like start game or whatever. And it did that like that like thing when it says like Lucasfilm and it does the like the little like jingle I know exactly and like that's before like everything and I was like oh man
right?
like
I can
here
imagine
we go
like, oh here we go
and then like he like and then it just like does that. There's a couple of those moments where like because like you'll just walk up like a staircase or like a platform or something and you just like look around and then he'll even like put his knee up on something and you'll just like kind of like look around and then like the whole world's out there. There's like ships flying by or like at one point like even just in the intro like TIE fighters just like fly over or whatever and like they're doing whatever and like and I don't even want to get too deep into it. Like I'll leave it clear for you and like everybody else.
It's funny for me where I think Star Wars is having such a moment right now. Obviously like with Fallen Order and then like the Mandalorian 2 and then just like the release of like Disney Plus and like just like all Star Wars films being there, and then obviously a month from now the end of the Skywalker saga coming out, right, with Rise of Skywalker. It's like it is a moment in time here, like Star Wars all kind of coming together collectively, and how all of them thus far, with maybe the exception of Episode 9 just because it's not out yet, like we can't know for sure, but like all of them being really good too. Like the Mandalorian people are raving about right now, and like Fallen Order people are going nuts about too, and like Disney Plus and like just all the OG Star Wars movies people love, obviously. And then it's like now Episode 9, like what do you got, kind of thing. It seems like it's a cool reminder of like why so many of us love Star Wars, right? Like why we love these characters and that world and that energy and the vibe to it, kind of thing. And I think this conversation and like just like the general atmosphere around Star Wars now has me kind of really even more excited to jump into this, and like I have to finally start watching The Mandalorian. I might maybe do the first episode tomorrow, but like people are just going nuts about it. Right? Like I was hanging out with a few friends last night, and they were like each talking about how like The Mandalorian is so you have to opportunity to like watch it right now. I'm like, all right, I mean, yeah, like I'm here for that energy. Like I love like that kind of. And they said like it's very like kind of classic like OG Star Wars vibe, and it's like that is the Star Wars that I love. So like I'm here for that kind of thing. Yeah, like I'm definitely curious to see Fallen Order in action, like, and it seems based on like Dan's review and talking to you too, like very kind of like space, like world hopping, like Indiana Jones kind of epic thing. And if that's the case, like I love that shit. Like I love everything about that pitch to me.
That's the vibe I get, and because I'm right at the part where once I can get past where I'm at, I'll get to the part where you can kind of hop around a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Because like not obviously like no spoilers, but it's just kind of how like a game would work. You kind of get out the tutorial, you kind of then do the first world, and then it kind of like opens up
the
a
entire
bit.
map. Yeah.
So I'm kind of like right there.
Awesome.
And I think it's basically, honestly, what might even sell you a little bit more is I feel like I also get a lot of like Uncharted vibes.
Okay, yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah,
because especially with kind of this thing with some of these cutscenes and maybe some of the characters they're going for, like they've just introduced like maybe a few, and we'll kind of see where that goes. But you can almost kind of get some of those like sidekick, like maybe like Sully type, like grizzled, like you know.
Absolutely for that.
And or maybe even like kind of like the one girl could even kind of have some of those like Chloe vibes, or like I can't forget her name, the one that he dates.
Elena.
Yeah, Elena. That's what I was gonna say, but I thought I was wrong. But yeah, like it definitely kind of has a lot of that, and even in just like traversal too. Like I feel like they have a lot of like, you know, they're trying to. There's a lot of that which I kind of dig.
The third-person action adventure game really kind of highlights. Like it definitely, like if it is a mixture of Indiana Jones and Uncharted and like sprawling like Mass Effect, like space epic world jumping thing in a Star Wars universe, it's like, yeah, that's a video game that Logan is very here for that pitch, guys, kind of thing.
The other thing, like when you kind of get when you first kind of like walk around on like the ship that is like the what I presume is like the ship you'll have to like hop for the rest of the game. It was so, like, we were, like, warp speed going to wherever, like, the first world we're trying to get to. And, like, walking around. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, I haven't been, like, about this feeling of, like, walking around a ship since, like, Mass Effect. Yeah, like, where I'm like, I can totally see, like, coming back here over and over again, like, and just, like, talking to people. And, like, right now, it's, like, empty or whatever, right? But it's, like, this is going to be, like, people, and you walk around and there's like, oh, there's a kitchen here and like tables and there's doors that are locked, but that's gonna be like
unlock
a
every
thing.
time.
Like so, like, and I also really love the ship design too. Like when you see it on the outside,
nice. Okay,
like I thought it was really cool.
Cool,
like,
cool. Good to hear that.
Like I thought it was cool, and like I'm not even gonna describe it or anything.
Awesome,
like,
just diving blind.
Yeah, like I don't want to ruin it too much, but I'm definitely already really positive about it.
Yeah,
and, like
I feel like this could be a game that potentially that we have some sort of like spoiler cache for as well, potentially. Like I know Ben is like really excited to play it too, and
Trevor already finished it.
Yeah, and I'm obviously going to do something with it as well. Like it's definitely one of the things we could have a larger, more in-depth conversation about going forward. So
and you can stop me if this gets a little bit spoilery for you, but I got to the moment where, since it kind of like opened up a little bit in the first world, and I got to the part where you could do a little bit of the customization and kind of like change some things around. And I changed my light. I had like nothing, obviously, because it's the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But like, I changed my lightsaber color. The only two options in the beginning, it's already blue, but I changed it to green.
Hell yeah!
And like, I did that thing where after that, you just kind of like pop it out, and it makes that like the sound, and it was all like this hot like green. And then I just started like doing all the waving around moves, and then like doing all the things where I realized like it kind of like I was just kind of like a Star Wars kid over here, you know, just like literally like swinging it around. And I was watching like his hair like flips around, and he's just so like into it, and it's all these like actual like sword like moves. And then when you like play with it, like I would be like swinging forward, but if I went backwards and attacked, he would do like a backwards like, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually really like in depth over here, like. And that was even like, I was already digging it, but that was also one of those things where, you know, when it like clicks, and I was like, but I just like see his like hair swinging around, and he's doing this, and then I stop, right, and he does the thing where he just stops, and then it just goes like and like back in the thing, and he just puts it on his belt, and then just like stands there, and I was like, oh my god, like.
I think at some point in time, not today's episode, but at some point I will have a conversation about like lightsaber colors. But yeah, like all right, you've sold me. I'm very excited to dive into Fallen Order. I might get that the rest of this weekend at some point in time. Just to not play while I do Death Stranding, but
I really feel like there's going to be a lot of that, like, customize, and like who's
that's
your
the customization,
kind of,
like who's your like what's your color, what's your like outfit, what's your like look of, like what's your favorite world to, as you start exploring more of the worlds. Like I'm very excited to have. We're for sure going to do some sort of spoiler catch this game. I think
definitely.
Like we're going to have to talk about these kind of questions, like, and like the actual like overarching like kind of like epic Star Wars story that I'm sure is in there as well. Like I've heard it's supposed to be like very dark actually too, the actual like main game.
I'm excited, like honestly, and on even the little bit of the story they've already dealt. Like I heard a little bit about it already, just like some like kind of some of the bad guys, but it's so like it's a part of Star Wars already, and the things they've already been doing. But it's all the stuff like I haven't really seen, so I don't really know about it. But I'm really curious about what is like what they've already even kind of like put in. I'm already really curious about like who some of these people are, and like what they're kind of about.
Yeah.
And like with the lightsaber color thing, I know I'm definitely think I'm going to change it when I get more later on. But like, man, that like I have nothing against the blue. Like they're both.
I love
blue and the green.
I love blue's my favorite color. I love blue.
Yeah.
But
like that green, and I love like when Luke has the green and like the black suit. Like that's so awesome. But even just, I swear, dude, it's like that moment. Like it's something about that game. Like I switched it to green, and it's like this is mine now, and it's like I just like break it out, and like I love it. Like
I think it's the thing for me where it's like blue is my favorite color. I love blue. Like there's not a day go by where I'm not wearing some aspect of blue on my person.
Yeah.
But like again, my favorite Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. It is like my favorite Star Wars kind of thing is like Luke with that green lightsaber kind of thing, just in the all black.
Yeah.
Final part of that movie, just like it's this incredible epic, like the journey from how he got there kind of thing, and like I love the green saber, and then Yoda having one too. It's like this is all I need in my life. My two characters having it. So like the blue one is great, but yeah, like that green lightsaber is like there is just like something I think special, like some sort of like kind of latent historical kind of symbolism to it among like Star Wars fandom, and like so like if that moment happens for me where I get that and be like I have to do it, and boom, green lightsaber. It's like I'm never fucking changing lightsaber ever again. It's mine now. Yeah. That's all super exciting to hear. Okay, that's rad.
And because like I like too that like just by default those are like you have everything is just nothing, like you can't change anything. But the only thing you can change is like that color, and the only options you have are kind of like those like
the two most iconic, really, blue or green. Yeah,
the two most iconic, but also those I even associate with like from going back to like the prequels, like the Padawan like colors, like green, blue, like or that's like the most common, I guess, right? Like and the most iconic, like you said. Yeah. And I love that those are like that's the only thing you can change. One of these two, and I literally immediately, as soon as I could, I changed it. Green. But like as soon as you just like pull it out the next time, I was like, oh, like
okay, I can, I very much vibe with that energy. We're gonna pivot to the larger topic here in a second, but before we do that, we're gonna do. So I just have to tell a story real quick. I was hanging out with somebody earlier this week, and they'd mentioned the fact that they've never had golden Oreos in their life.
Like the vanilla
strawberry cookie for golden Oreos, and I was like, we're gonna fix this. And so now this is really more of a defense of like, here's why golden Oreos are great and underappreciated Oreo flavors. Because they're fucking rad. So the golden shortbread cookie and the like cream itself, it's such a nice contrast, right? We're like, because like black chocolate cookie and the Oreo,
it can be a lot sometimes.
A classic. It can be. That's my thing. It's like this is what I told her. Where
fantastic,
it's like fantastic, amazing cookie. Obviously the OG.
Right.
My thing for Oreo flavors is like a big part of my ranking of Oreos is how many you can eat in like a single sitting. And like there are certain Oreos, like a birthday cake Oreo, which I don't even like, that you can't eat a lot of those. Like you'll feel bad if you eat a lot of those. A golden Oreo is one of the best. You can eat like an entire sleeve of that, and you'll still feel okay. Cause it's not a heavy cookie; it's very kind of light cookie. I feel like, which is kind of pleasant. And like the golden Oreo doesn't get enough respect. I think it doesn't get enough love. I think, but you know, a cookie that does get a lot of love. That's the Halloween and Christmas Oreos, holiday Oreos in general, right? Those are great.
I love the Halloween ones. When I was
the orange frosting,
they
taste exactly the same, but they taste very different too at the same time. It's some weird thing where it's like, this is definitely a different cookie taste, I can tell.
I was so about that aesthetic though, and then also like
the little jack-o'-lanterns and the like chocolate part of it.
And I was all about that, and because it would kind of like stain your teeth or turn your tongue kind of a weird color, like
absolutely.
No one in my family would eat them but me, and then it almost was like strategic at that point where I'm like, well, now these are my Oreos because nobody wants to like fuck with these.
The orange frosting for the Halloween ones, the red frosting for the Christmas ones, like absolutely, like I love that kind of stuff.
I love the mint ones, dude. Like
mint ones
those
are tricky.
were my favorite back in the day. I mean, if you eat too many, it kind of becomes like toothpaste.
Yeah,
but like
that's it. That's exactly what it is.
But those were definitely like a favorite, and I love I do really like the chocolate ones, or they did even like the chocolate peanut butter ones, you know.
Yes, I think
like
the peanut butter ones I'm much more iffy with. Like I don't love the peanut butter Oreos.
But did you try like the Reese's peanut butter ones?
So my thing for this is that like I've been on the record as saying, and it's definitely one of my hottest food takes, that I don't think peanut butter and chocolate are great together. Like I think they're two individually amazing things, but when you mix them together, I don't necessarily love that like flavor profile as much as other people do. I think that's my big thing for that.
I think it's good, but it can definitely be bad. Like there's variations kind of like in that combination, and you can definitely have like bad versions for sure. You know,
I think for me it's a thing of like the peanut butter Oreos are not my. They're not my least favorite Oreo flavors because there's like weird.
Like, there's way worse.
Yeah, but like they're definitely like mid to bottom tier, I would say, in Oreo flavor rankings.
At least for me, at the lowest, it would be mid. I'm not fighting for these are the best of all time, but I am fighting for I like these, like they're good. This is what we should have just done. We should just rank like.
Oh, don't worry. At some point in time, I'm gonna bring for a topic for just an entire episode of the show that is just like we're gonna debate. Top 10 Oreo flavors.
Did you ever have the brownie batter ones?
I haven't. I'm so upset that I didn't ever get those.
Those were so fucking amazing. I'm kind of sad because I think they were like a limited edition, limited release deal. Like
I've been on the record of saying that my favorite Oreo flavor is the cinnamon bun Oreos. I love the cinnamon bun Oreos. Those are incredible.
I don't know if I tried those.
I love those.
I think I may have though.
I think they may
have also just done like a cinnamon one at some point.
Maybe. I know the cinnamon bun ones are like they're probably at Target you can find right now, but like they're
they still do those.
Yeah, I love them. They're so good. But this is all way to get to the main topic of the episode, the largest point of what we're doing here, which is we're gonna rank some holidays. Yeah. We're gonna rank. I'd say really this is a conversation around. Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, but we can include, other holidays as well. But the big three end of the year holidays: Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. What is the best? What is the worst? And Frank, I'll let you make the first opening pitch here. Throw out the first take here.
Do you want me to do the whole order, or you want me to be like, this is the best?
You can say or the worst. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You're the captain of your own ship, man.
I also, I guess, want to say, too, you said we're going with those three, right? You don't want me to pull for, Flag Day?
No, I mean, again, we'll get to those.
Okay.
And that's too, but for starters, we're going to begin with the big three and then go down.
So, I guess I will state before any hot takes, come out that, I guess I'm a fan of all three, right? I don't know if there's too many people that, hate any of those.
Some people do. Some people do not like Halloween. Some people do not like Christmas. Some people do not like Thanksgiving. There are definitely people out there who do not like each of these three holidays.
I think Thanksgiving for me is definitely the lowest, especially at that tier. It's definitely great. It's a good time for people to get together
food.
And I definitely good food.
Maybe the best food of the three.
I also think about it not only just getting together to have food, but it's also that excessive food.
Yeah,
that's really bad for you, and everything is really bad for you, and everybody's yeah, but this is Thanksgiving. It doesn't count. It's one of those things. So
mashed potatoes is the best thing for you on the table. It's here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even since I was a kid, my family's had this amazing twice baked mashed potato recipe, and I still make it even here, and it's so fire.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And I'm not even a huge fan of turkey. I'm one of those
that's my
guys.
thing. I'm not either. I love my family would do turkey and then also Black Forest ham.
Oh, nice.
And I love ham way more than I do turkey. I'm usually the guy who I'll get turkey on the first plate just because I need turkey, and then ham, and then from the second plate onwards, I'm just gonna ham. I'm not getting turkey anymore.
Yeah.
So turkey's fine.
Yeah.
But ham, that shit slaps kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm always that dude that's has one, maybe two pieces of meat. It's kind of small anyways or whatever, and then it's the rest is just overflowing.
It's the kids' plate,
with,
the mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, the side, all that kind of shit. It's bread. It's absolutely here we go,
dude, for real, yeah. And even at we just did our Thanksgiving luncheon at work, and so but it was the same thing. It's a bunch of mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, the biscuit.
It's that thing for me where it's again, mashed potatoes is my second favorite food in the world. I love mashed potatoes. It's that thing
it's a great choice.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I feel Thanksgiving to me is National Mashed Potato Day, and so it's I get excited with that. The thing I'm curious about is so you like Halloween more than Thanksgiving?
I think so.
Make the defense of this, yeah.
But you know what? That I guess that is kind of almost a little bit tough because I guess I just think overall when you say when I think about it, I go I do prefer Halloween, but it's Halloween for me now as an adult means nothing.
This is my thing.
It means nothing.
This is what I always say for Halloween when people are it's my favorite holiday. I love Halloween so much, and it's yeah, but is it because I feel for me once I was 17, 18 kind of thing, I didn't really celebrate. It's what am I doing for Halloween anymore? I'm not going to trick or treat. I'm not getting candy. I'm not I'm not going to Halloween parties necessarily. Doing it's I would have I don't I like Halloween. I like the season a lot. I guess that kind of vibe, right? And I like but I don't love horror things. It's like there's like I respect some of it, but not all of it, kind of thing. And then it's also a thing for me of like I think I like Halloween because Halloween is like the kickstart to the holiday season. But I think I like each of the 2 holidays afterwards better. I just get excited about it because it's like, all right, cool. Now we're in it, right?
Now it's the holiday season.
And it's important for me too to note because like again, the holiday season for me isn't Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas because again, an important aspect of that is that like for me it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then the fact that in 10 days after Christmas and the 3rd day of the year is my birthday. So for me it runs all the way until from like October 31st all the way until January 3rd of my birthday. So like this whole thing is like the holiday season, and then like out of that I like Halloween the least probably. Like you could arguably even throw in New Year's there, but then like New Year's to me is that weird where like New Year's essentially for me is like rolled into like the 10-day stretch that is Christmas to my birthday. It's all just like one kind of giant holiday. Yeah. Or like 2 holidays like smashed together at New Year's, and it's like Halloween is great, but I feel like I'm not somebody who appreciates horror things enough and like scary things enough to like really love it, and especially not as a kid, right? Like I feel like I like horror things or like appreciate and respect horror stories more now, but I'm not a kid anymore, so I can't like do anything with that knowledge anymore. So like I feel like I wish I had been more into scary stories and like scary parks and movies when I was like 18 and younger, and then I feel like I've gotten the full experience, but like I didn't like them at all then. I just wanted candy, and now it's like I want candy still, but I can't really get it in the same way, and I like these other things, but like I don't know. So it's like it's a weird holiday. I feel like for an adult, right? Like especially like an adult in your 20s, where like because then it's like things like Halloween is the weirdest holiday for me, where it's like because Thanksgiving you'll just like Thanksgiving your entire life. Like Christmas you'll like it your entire life, but like Halloween it's like I feel like you like it from like when you're 5 to like 18, and then you don't really care about it until you're like 35 and you're like a parent now, right? And then like have your kids, and like from that point on, you like it again. But like there's like this weird 20-year gap where it's like I'm not a kid, I'm not really a parent. I'm just kind of like somebody who just like is alive, and it's like I don't really. This is a holiday that happens. It's like cool, but like what am I doing with it, kind of thing.
Well, it's kind of what it is like for me too, because like when I stopped trick or treating when I was like 12 or 13. Like I was out like pretty early, like and. From there, then it just kind of meant nothing for like a couple years, and then when I got a little bit older, it was about like the Halloween parties.
Yes.
But then after a couple years of that, I just don't even really care anymore.
That's
about
my
that.
thing. Yeah.
And like this last year, I went to this place here in town called DK's, which is like a sushi karaoke place. And
Ooh, okay, yeah, absolutely.
Like, and that's always like a really awesome like party atmosphere. So I figured it would be extra crazy on Halloween, and it was like they closed at like 10 or whatever, but they stayed open late, like another hour and a half, like because just like people are having a good time, like. So, like, it was fun, but it's like, yeah, definitely. I think I might honestly just kind of flip that around, because I was going back and forth before I even said anything, but I decided to go with it. But, like, Halloween is probably, like, the lowest in terms of, like, being where we're at and, like, being an adult. Because, like, when I was a kid, it was fun.
Yeah, I loved it.
We had a great time.
Yeah, it's so much fun, yeah.
My dad loves Halloween, so we would always do, like, a bunch of cool shit around the neighborhood, and we would always be out, like, all night. Like that was always the thing where it was always like whatever bag or whatever. Eventually I tried to do like the pillowcase thing, and like I remember one time I had the bag and it had like the markers on it, and it was like, and it also had like the weight equivalent, like if it's at this level it's like, and it's like multiple pounds, like we would go over the entire neighborhood.
I think Halloween's cool too because it is kind of the friend holiday, right? Like for me it's that thing, like I think of Halloween. And yeah, I think being a kid, I think it's the one where it's like, it's me and my childhood best friend at the time, Brandon, like, just going on, like, so many, like, crazy stories and adventures from, like, just trick-or-treating, like, every night for, like, all those years. And it's like, that's the holiday that I have so many of, like, the strongest memories of. And, like, Thanksgiving is, like, I have, like, Thanksgiving memories that are, like, very strong, obviously, but it's, like, usually just, like, me, my dad, like, my sister, and, like, my cousins playing football kind of thing, and then eating, and that's kind of it. And I feel like Halloween, I have, like, very distinct, like, I can tell you, like the weather outside, what I was wearing, kind of thing. I can remember, like, me and Brandon, like, go trick-or-treating, going, like, out do shit, like, waking up the next morning, like, counting our candy, like, biking around, like, through town, like, deserted kind of thing. Like, that's one where I have, like, very vivid memories of, like, me and my friends doing stuff together. And so I think that's why, like, a lot of people love Halloween, too, is that, like, it is, like, the friend holiday in a lot of ways. Whereas, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas are much more, like, the family ones. But yeah, it's tough. Like, I think for me, so it looks like, I feel like we're we're beating around the bush, but I think we are on the same page where it's like Christmas is the best holiday.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
110%. Like if you said anything else, I would definitely like
pick a fight
against that.
I think it's just that thing for me, where, and it's funny too because I hate winter. Like I don't like winter, especially like Midwest winter where like I grew up. Like it's awful, it's just terrible. It's just cold and snowy and rainy, and just miserable. But like I feel like the month of December is just like you don't know. Like I don't notice it. Where it's like it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the thing for me too, where it's like I like Halloween. I like Thanksgiving quite a bit, but like Christmas to me is like an entire month, and like that's maybe why it's like it is just like the whole month of December just feels
the
like
holiday season.
Yeah, like it just feels like you're in like a holiday for like a whole month, and like just count down to this thing, like being excited, right? And it is this one which like I feel like in a weird way, like the holidays are like a weird like evolution of each other. Where it's like Halloween is just like be a dick, scare people, like be kind of like goofy and mean and like all those kind of things, like be like kind of like this like crazy person. And Thanksgiving is like, all right, cool. But what do you thank for? Kind of thing. Be like, what do you have for this? What do you thank for it? And then Christmas is like it's all about like giving to other people, like giving like and stuff, and like being like a good kind of thing. It's like kind of building off the other ones before, and it's like I love the spirit of it. I love the like the season of it. I love Christmas movies. I love like Christmas things, like Christmas like food and like candy and treats, like cookies. Like the Christmas cookies are like amazing in movies. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I think of Christmas and I think of like watching ABC Family's 25 Days of Christmas every year as a kid. For like my finger like print out the like calendar of like what it'd be like.
I was like, when is Richie Rich on?
When is Richie Rich on? When is Home Alone 2 on? When is like
absolutely.
For some reason they always play Harry Potter like 5 of the days.
Yeah, but I still fuck with that.
I fucking love it. Yes, absolutely.
Like,
yeah, like I don't know why, but like Harry Potter, they just feel like Christmas movies for no reason, but it's like they just are very Christmassy movies, I think.
Do you know what's so Christmas though, especially like in Harry Potter, is that like that jingle that's like the
that's the thing.
Like that's so
they
like
made it like
Christmas,
an iconic Christmas jingle, and it's just like just like a song that played once during Christmas in the movie, and it's like, but it's like it is Christmas music now, right? And like it's and like obviously it's like Christmas Day and like getting excited for like the presents and like the gifts and everything like that, and it's exciting and cool, but like it is just like it's hard to just not be happy during Christmas time, I think. And like it's also that thing of like the tease with tea where it's like there isn't a Halloween Eve, and there's not things when you be like Christmas Eve is like like it doesn't matter if you're like 5 or like 25, like just like the excitement of like tomorrow is the day, like you've been waiting all month long for this, like I don't know what I'm gonna get, like it's like a surprise thing, it's like it's this great awesome exciting thing. And then like I mentioned earlier, my birthday is 10 days after Christmas, so like it's like we get there.
Mine's like 2 weeks after that.
Exactly, and so we cause you know exactly what I'm about to say. Like we ramp up to that. It's like Christmas. It's like fuck yeah, it's Christmas time, gifts, celebrations, being happy, like food. It's awesome, family, all this stuff. And then it's like all right, and we come down, and then it's like 10 days later we're back up again, where it's like boom, at a birth, and we get to kind of do like the same thing again, or like a month at a few, and it's like it's just like great. Like it is a dope holiday, and it's like a great cap off to that thing, and like. Yeah, like for me, I'd maybe say Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. But we're also excluding as we get past the big three into what I think is better than at least one of, if not two, and can make a strong case for being right near the top of the list for me, which is the 4th of July. I fuck with the 4th of July. I love the 4th of July.
I don't have anything against the 4th of July, and I'm definitely about the spirit of it, and kind of like what you would like, because when you think, all right, you see 4th of July, what you think is like backyard, it's summertime, sun's going down, fireworks are going off, like the grill is on, right? Or like it's burning out because like everybody's already eating their food or whatever, right? Like that's 4th of July.
Yes.
But I've like never had that with 4th of July.
It's
like
Frank,
I never once. Like 4th of July means like nothing.
Next 4th of July, we're gonna get Christian. We're gonna bring people into town. It'll be like our next weekend again. We're gonna bring people in town. We're gonna go barbecue. We're gonna find somebody who's just got a fucking grill. Yeah. We're gonna cook out and barbecue. Because here's like, that's exactly what 4th of July is for me. Like 4th of July to me, I always describe as it is like it is like the quintessential summer day. Yeah. Right? It's like, because summer is my favorite season, because like, obviously, like, I'm a very like sunny, buoyant, happy-go-lucky person. I love summer. It's my favorite season. And like, 4th of July is like exactly why I do, where it is just like, blue skies and like the green grass waving in the fields and like, grilling out and like making like burgers and hot dogs and like playing football, like running around, like playing football, soccer, basketball, anything with like the family and the friends, just like being outside, enjoying each other's company kind of thing. And then it's, doing all that, cooking out, and then going out in the front yard and like shooting off like fireworks and like teaching your cousins how to do it, and then the cousins teach the people who are younger than them how to do it, and, like passing like that on from like generation to generation kind of thing. And like it is a great like hybrid of family and friends celebrating together. It's a great hybrid of like why summer is unique as a season where it's like it was just like outside enjoying themselves, right? Where it's like it is kind of the opposite of Christmas in a lot of ways, but I think they also have like very much like the same kind of like thread line of them, which is like a celebration of something bigger than yourself, right? Like I think of like it's like being excited about things that are bigger than yourself, right? And like they're great kind of I think poles to each other. But like I lie, like if you ask me right now, I'd be like I definitely love 4th of July more than Thanksgiving. I definitely love 4th of July more than Halloween. Like 4th of July is great. Like it is such a great like exciting, fun holiday. Like obviously like the American history aspect of it appeals to me as somebody who has like degrees in this shit. But like it is just a thing. Like it is the quintessential summer day put into one day, and it is like for me it's like the thing like it is like the high, like it is like the peak of summer, and then you come back down from that, right? Like you like get off school in like the middle of May, and you have like all of June and like the back half of May to be like it is summer, it's great, like everybody's happy and having a great time, it's wonderful. Like school will never start up again. It's like it's so far away, and then you build up to the 4th of July, and you get to the 4th of July, and it's like boom, this is the perfect midsummer day kind of thing. And then from that point on, it's like all right, cool. Now like we've hit that, we've hit the kind of the high. We're in the second half of summer break now, and it's like you can start to feel like school is the thing you have to go back to. You are going to have to go back to class. You are going to have to go back to like teachers who suck and like pencils and erasers and
have
backpacks.
To do the shopping
and, like,
and all that.
All shopping, like that's all on the other side of it. Right? So like 4th of July to me is like the last like big celebration of this, right? And like I love the 4th of July. It is definitely my pick, I would say.
I think what's good about like all of these is that like it's obviously like brings people together. And
Yeah,
it's an excuse
right.
To, like have a good.
It's
time
a celebration
and, like,
of something, right? It's like a thing bigger than yourself, right?
Yeah, and I think like that's always a great like time and a great like excuse to have a reason to do that because people don't just do that like randomly, right?
That's a thing, right? Yeah.
And like I just think that like the thing that's special about the 4th of July is that like we talk about like it's like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then
you
for us it's like
birthdays.
our birthdays.
You're going back to back. Yeah.
And so there's nothing for 6 months.
Yes.
And like there's barely, and there's random stuff sprinkled in.
And
there.
Arbor Day, man,
big, the Flag Day, Earth Day, whatever, like, and then but you hit 4th of July, and I feel like that is one of the bigger like. Oh, this is a big momentous.
This is a big holiday, yeah,
especially for us
being in America, like it's grab, like that's the thing, like it is such a great, I think that's part of what I like too is that like it's the most. I'd argue it's like the most chill of like all of the other like out of the big three, and that it's like just hang out with people you want to be with. Like that's the thing for me where it's like if you want to just hang out and be with your friends or hang out and be with your family, just like hang out, eat good food, just be outside playing games, just like walking around, just enjoying nature, and just like enjoy the fact that it's like a great summer day, and just like be with the people that you want to be with. Like there's no pressure to be like, all right, like I have to be with my family like on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Like there's no pressure to be like I have to go to like a party or go to something dumb or drink or whatever on Halloween. It's like no, just like what do you want to do? Just like have a chill. It's like the most chill of them all, and be like just chill out, have a great day and have fun. Like eat food, watch some fireworks, and just like like hang with the fam outside or hang with the friends outside. And, like, I think I like that because like, that, to me, is, like, the personification of what summer should be, which is, like, just, like, have a chill time. Just, like, have fun. Like, be chill, have fun, enjoy the weather, and, like, don't take yourself, like, too seriously right now. Like, just, like, relax. Like, that's what summer's about. Just, like, relaxing, unwinding for, like, the craziness of, like, the past, like, 9 months and be like, and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And, like, drink a beer, eat a hot dog, and enjoy Zilker Park or enjoy the Greenbelt or enjoy whatever it might be. And like I think that's why I love the 4th of July but too, that like it's just like the chill holiday. It's just like who do you want to spend time with? Those people? Cool. Then do it and just like you guys have fun. It's fun. And it's like okay, I'm very much behind that energy, behind that spirit of it.
That's why like I definitely support the idea, like the spirit, the energy, but
I have not had it. Next year, me and you and Christian and whoever else is in town for OTX are going to go barbecue on the 4th of July. We're going to do it. We're going to go barbecue, and we're going to watch some dumb play show fireworks. It's going to be great. And we're going to just enjoy like being bros together and being friends together.
Adventurous, firing Roman candles at each other.
Exactly, right? Yeah, like we're going to... That's a promise being made on this podcast right now. And then in 7 months, next year, we are going to the 4th of July and we're going to celebrate together and be like, fuck, I get why Logan loves this holiday now. Like, I find this guy who fucking, like, born and bred in or I guess wasn't born there, but like was bred in the Midwest, was bred in like Missouri, heartland country. This is why he likes 4th of July, because like that's where it is just like, yeah, like it is summer, it is barbecues, it is blue skies, green grass, and like just like hanging out and chilling, relaxing, having a great time.
Yeah.
That's 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's great. We picked that one.
Yeah.
That's my holiday. You want to give us a shout out to another holiday, Frank? You got a holiday you want to give a shout out to?
Man, like I want to, just because like we're doing the list, so I definitely want to like contribute, but I don't have like anything really. Like I can't think of anything.
Frank's favorite holiday is Arbor Day. You heard it here first. He's a big fan of Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I almost like thought about something weird like that, or because I also thought about what honestly did come to my mind for like a weirder one would be Martin Luther King Jr. Day or President's Day.
I can do a whole thing about President's Day. You know that I can.
But it's just because like they're both in January,
February,
or is President's Day in February? Okay, so they're both like really early in the beginning of the year, and those are always those things I remember. Is like, oh, it's that first day you get out of school, like. And I remember those memories, and even kind of like now, like we don't always get those like necessarily those days off for like work or whatever. But like, yeah, like it's cool. Like to be like, oh, we get some time off and like get out of here. And like President's Day, I love that it was like 3 different days, and they were like, no, everybody gets one.
Yeah,
we combined them together.
They basically just took Lincoln and Washington's birthday and were like, put them together, basically in between the two. I love President's Day, obviously. It is one of my favorite days in the entire year, because I'm somebody who has a degree in political science, and I specialize in presidential history. I love it. But, like, yeah, like, that is much more one where it's like, I am excited about President's Day, but, like, most people aren't.
Yeah.
So it's like, but, like, I love President's Day, but, like, yeah, like, 4th of July and Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween are ones where it's like, this, again, like, it is a much more communal aspect to which is cool and neat. But yeah, like that is a great one. Yeah, like I love President's Day.
Because I guess a lot of these, there's a lot of days where we do obviously like it is about like celebrating or honoring like a specific person or specific
Veterans Memorial Day too. I thought about those too. Like those are weird to be like that's my favorite holiday. It's like what's a strange one.
But a lot of people like it's weird that it is about celebrating, honoring these things. I feel like people do, but it's not about like coming together.
Yeah, you don't like you don't do it necessarily as like a community. You'd be like celebrate like the past presidents who like built the nation or like celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. or like veterans or kind of people who are fallen in combat. It's like it's much more of like on your own time. It's kind of take like a moment of silence kind of thing and observe that and like kind of honor their memory thing.
And then bottom tier, absolute lowest. I was gonna say Columbus Day.
Oh yeah,
absolute
you know what?
Bottom tier, like lowest holiday.
That's a rough one. Here's a good question. It's another big holiday we haven't talked about yet, actually, which is surprising. What are your thoughts on Valentine's Day? Where do you come down on it?
Not a huge fan, honestly.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, like I know, like it's funny because it definitely exists, but it's funny that like this whole time we've been talking about holidays and thinking about them or whatever, never once crossed my mind.
Talk about it?
Like, yeah, and I don't even want to be like some.
Frank hates love, actually, guys.
I'm about that, but what I'm not about is that like it's like this artificially made up like commercial holiday, and that's why I'm not trying to get on like my soapbox.
He's gonna
start,
like, be like,
screaming
look,
in a megaphone,
motherfuckers,
like,
your holiday blows. All right, yeah, it's a fake holiday. Yeah, Frank's raging, he's angry.
But I was legit like even when I was like a kid, I would have been like I was like 11, and I was like they'd be like, oh, it's Valentine's Day in school, and you do all that
like
stuff.
Give it the hearts to like everybody in class kind of thing.
And I participated, like I was normal. We get the cards, get the candy, give out to people or whatever. But the whole time I was like, this is a commercial fake holiday. They want you to Hallmark wants you to.
Yeah. Frank's trying to overthrow capitalism in this fucking 4th grade science class right now. Yeah, I feel that energy. It's
exactly. Fun. That was basically like the vibe.
I think for me to think like I like Valentine's Day. I feel like the stereotypical bro who's like, like Valentine's Day is like a fucking rip off. It's like I like Valentine's Day. Like it's a cool. It's a day to just like celebrate something.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Big enough to celebrate like.
Again, like I'm about the spirit, the energy, because again, like, and it's good to sometimes like pick a day and like
that's
highlight,
my thing.
Like with that, it's like, hey, we're highlighting this thing, and on that day, it's like we're highlighting relationships and like love that people have. Like
two things for me is that like people always show the fact that like but like I don't like the fact that it's like they're just saying like you only see all these good things unless one day in like this year it's like not important. It's like no, that's not what they're saying at all. You definitely be good to your significant other every other day of the year, bro. What it's saying is that like they're taking one day to be like, and in particular like this is like be like extra good, be like extra nice. Like it is a celebration of the other 364 days in the year. Like embrace it, and be like here's why like you're so great, special, and amazing, and wonderful. And also like I think Valentine's Day is cool because like Valentine's Day is a good also way to be like shout out people in your life who you love that aren't like romantic partners, right? Like shout out you like people that you love that are like your friends and best friends and like family. Like should be like people that like to me Valentine's Day is a holiday just about like love. Just who do you love in any sense and like be like, all right, cool, like. I love you, man. So, like, I'm going to shout out you too. Be like, shout out to, like, Frank Bazzani and shout out to, like, Trevor Sharkey and, like, all those other people, and Christian and Ben and Chloe and Jazz and Cameron and Christian. Christian maybe got 2 shots.
Christian gets the double, like, the
I
double
love
tap,
Christian Fuente so much, guys. But like, I think that's where, like, and, like, to be fair, also, like, ultimately, if you like, fuck Valentine's, they'd be like, all right, yeah, like, that's fair enough. But, like, I think it's got a cool aspect of it, too. I think it's dope, too, because, like, worst case scenario, you just listen to Taylor Swift all day. It's like it is like the day of like Taylor Swift listening. That's kind of fun too. But
with Valentine's Day,
what you got for Valentine's Day? Let's dissect V-Day here.
I was just like, I feel like it was definitely a thing. Like I don't know if I would have been about it anyways. I maybe have always gotten that opinion, but that's also like exactly even like my mom's thing. Like my mom hates Valentine's Day, and then so obviously like my parents. My entire life never did anything for Valentine's Day. Like she's like against it, just like and that's probably why I kind of have like the same thing.
Same opinion as she has, yeah.
She has like different like reasons why she doesn't particularly like it, but I definitely was always like, well, this is just like really a lot of holidays are about giving or like like in doing that. But I feel like I was like this in particular is really like commercial and kind of and it almost like. In some cases could cause problems because it's like, oh, you didn't give me this great thing, or like we didn't do something amazing, so now you're in like hot water, or whatever, right? Like
again, it shouldn't be like the end all be all. It should be a thing. It should be a celebration of like what the whole year's been, not just like a thing like is the only day that matters. That's where I don't like that thing, but like it should be a thing of like, hey, like here's why I value this past year kind of thing, and like really kind of. Emphasize that point. I should be like, is the only that matters. Everything else doesn't matter. It's not important. It's like, nah, fuck that energy. Fuck that spirit. We're like, it should be a day to be like, hey, you know what? Trevor will love this. Valentine's Day is like International Day of Shouts. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for being cool and dope and like why I love you kind of thing. That's what it should. It should be like a day of shouts at like everybody.
It's like
I like that energy.
It's at me day, like where everybody's like, "Don't at me." It's like, no, everybody at me today.
Everybody
like,
at me today. Tell me why you love me. Tell me why you love Frank. All right, mark on your calendars right now, February 14th, 2020. Tell us why you love us. I think we're nearing the end of that.
Like I don't particularly have any other polls for like holidays.
Yeah, I think we figured out again Christmas, Thanksgiving. Halloween, we're gonna say big 3.
Is Arbor Day the back to school day? Is that why you don't like Arbor Day? Okay. Because fuck that, kind of.
Yeah, fuck that. It's like, bad. I don't even know what the fuck Arbor Day is. I know it's just like I think it's like a leaf. It's like a day where like leaves and shit and like trees.
That's
maybe.
when the leaves fall off and
maybe
fall
like
starts
that.
or some shit. Okay. Because I'm from the desert, so I have no.
It's my favorite holiday to just make fun of. It's like who the fuck even knows what Arbor Day is? It's just like fucking Arbor Day. Shout out to that.
Yeah, that's why I like Earth Day. Or I always pull Flag Day.
Earth Day is 420, I think though.
Oh, okay, I support that. You got to support that energy. That's also why I support June 9th.
What is June 9th?
69.
There you go. But yeah, so that we're bringing that conversation to a close.
Yeah, that's where we should just leave that.
We're ending this podcast, so we will say thanks for listening. Frank, where can people find you at?
I'm at Irrelevant Jokes on pretty much every platform. And I'm definitely still working on some things for the YouTube channel, so everybody should check out
excited for that.
That Nerdy Side YouTube. I'm going to be working on that like this weekend, so there should be some cool shit coming out there.
Awesome. You can also find me and Frank streaming stuff soon, very soon. Hopefully, some Ultimate Chicken Horse and some other.
Man of Medan. I really
want to do that. We're going to talk about this after getting a recording, probably about Man of Medan and also Ultimate Chicken Horse. Get that platinum trophy in that game.
I looked at it. It's definitely doable. It just takes time, but we can definitely do it.
We'll platinum that video game.
I need to buy it, I guess, because I have to like be logged in.
Yeah, it's cheap. Yeah. I think it was like $10 maybe for me.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Now. It's just for like how many hours we have played it and will play. Yeah.
Support those devs.
So you can find Frank there. Yes, please do. They're very cool guys. You can find me at Lefty Logie on everything. I had my welcome piece go up on the site, Sick Harvest Magna. Greatest from Small Beginnings go up this past week. People seem to really like it, which is very nice. Appreciate that. So you can go check that out and read that. You can also on the site check out Trevor's review of Luigi's Mansion 3. He will also have thoughts on Ford versus Ferrari, I think.
And Frozen 2.
Frozen 2, I believe. And he also
Oh, the Cursed Child.
The Cursed Child as well. Possibly he will have things to say on the podcast about that, and then he will also have thoughts on the Outer Wilds. I believe he's going to maybe do a review on that as well. Within the next few weeks, you can expect reviews on Death Stranding, and I'm sure Jedi Fallen Order by somebody. We don't know who's necessarily going to do that, as well as spoiler cast on those things. You can also go check us out on Twitch, where we are Twitch affiliated. Thank you for that. Sure, we're streaming at least 2 or 3 times a week. Like I mentioned, me and Frank are going to be doing giant streams sometime soon of Ultimate Chicken Horse, and also a full playthrough of Man of Medan. Among other things, you can go check out That Wannabe Film Class, where I'm one of the hosts, along with Ben Bellevue and Chloe Naylor. We last week, or this week, whenever time comes out, the newest episode was about National Treasure.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic film. A fantastic motion picture film. Me and Ben, that was just Chloe and Ben. I was out, unfortunately. This week, me and Ben will be sitting down to talk about his movie. Chloe will still be in London, unfortunately.
Can we reveal what that is?
I don't know if Ben has told me yet.
Okay,
I haven't watched anything yet, so I don't think Ben has announced it yet. But just in the future, be excited about that. Please be excited. You can also go check out that video game list show, which is absolutely so much fucking fun. I gotta be like, that show is so much fun to do.
The wheels are falling off.
The wheels are falling off very quickly. There were double vetoes and craziness happening in the last episode that went live for your listening pleasure. And then we're going to, the next few days, to record 2 more episodes of that and wrap up the kind of selection process. That show is a ton of fun to do. It is one that I'm particularly very proud of. I think the quality of that is very good. I think the cast is very good. I think the antics have been pretty damn good. So please go check that out. You can find all of our podcasts on podcast services around the globe: iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, Snapchat, everything that people listen to podcasts on. Please, if you like and enjoy what you're listening to, support us and give us all the stars and positive reviews and thoughts and opinions, and share it with your family and friends. If you don't like what you listen to, please go to OK Beast podcast on iTunes and give them your negative feedback about us, and they will be sure to pass it along to us. Please do that.
We should probably shout out the Patreon.
Yes, you're going to go to patreon.com/thatnerdysite. Again, patreon.com/nerdysite to support us in all of our endeavors. We appreciate it very, very much. We have the newest Patreon shout-outs for this episode, including Emmett Watkins Jr. and Michael Chuari, maybe?
I thought it was Kuiri.
Kuiri?
I'm probably
Michael
wrong,
Kuiri.
He's also the homie, though, definitely.
Also the homie, Mike Kuiri. Emmett Watkins Jr., I want to double back on that one. The real homie out there. Homie out there. And then somebody named, I can't...
Some chump.
Some chump named Trevor Starkey, I think. I don't know who that one is.
Typo. I think it was like Streaky or something.
It must be Trevor Streaky out there. Shout out to Trevor Streaky. I appreciate his efforts as well. Like I said before, we've already hit our first goal on that, and we are very close to hitting our second goal to launch that D Plus show, that Disney Plus show, which I'm sure a lot of us are very excited to do. I think that could be a very big cast on that.
So many Disney Channel original movies.
Exactly. Some DCUs, possibly like a Mandalorian rewatch series as well.
Definitely.
There are a lot of cool things that could happen with that show, so please go support that. We are very excited to do that. And then, until next time.
Pretty much everything.
Until next time, that's everything, I think. I have been your host, Logan Wilkinson. For Frank, for the absent Trevor, Ben, Chloe, Cameron, Christian, and Jazz Foster. This has been That Nerdy Site Show, Episode 4. Until next time, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, signing off.
Signing off. Just, over. Until next time, fuck birthday cake Oreos.